Docker is a very popular tool that I am pretty sure everyone has already used if you're an engineer, if you're any data scientist, software developer, whatever you are. And a very interesting thing came out from Docker. Now, here's the problem that we have. And I wrote about this on Medium. If you want to check it out, you can check out my blog, which is linked in the description. And essentially, what's going on, and this actually stems from a year ago when I kind of wrote about it 2 years ago or a year ago, year and a half. Docker pretty much had changed from a free platform to a paid subscription model. Now, I wrote about this back in 2021. This article actually did fairly decently. But this article, as you can see, I mean, it in and of itself was a pretty big change from Docker. Now, it looks like another massive change that they're about to do right now is actually within their specific, Docker platform, and it was specifically with deleting open source projects. So, a specific user, this person elects Alex Tellis, they basically went on to say that Docker is now deleting open source organizations and what you need to know about it. Now, from me being 100% honest, I don't even use Docker like every day, but I know a lot of people that do. And in this example, what they were showcasing, if you don't go ahead and buy their, most up-to-date, most top-tier version of Docker, their paid subscription model, your open source project could be deleted. So that was a very weird thing. I don't even know why Docker would, go down this direction. But weirdly enough, in a very weird turn of events, Docker actually ended up apologizing. So what ended up happening, they pushed out and released this article, which basically says, "We apologize. We did a terrible job announcing the end of Docker free teams." And they basically go on to state that basically Docker Hub and their whole entire project isn't really going to be deleted. They say, as long as the user doesn't delete the project, then they won't delete the project. That's kind of the gist of what I'm getting here. But I say that to say, at the very end of my article, I basically say, this is great news. The fact that the user has to delete them and we're not deleting, okay, that's great. But I would still probably recommend people to go ahead and move away from using Docker. There are a lot of other Docker alternatives out there. Maybe they're not as popular as Docker. Google has an alternative, for example, but I would probably start recommending people to move away from Docker and probably go to another platform, especially with them. I'm surprised back in 2021 when I wrote about this that it even got somewhat of a, audience behind it. I will say though, for the majority of people out there, you should probably go ahead and find an alternative to Docker as of this point because it seems like a lot of people are jumping ship. So that's kind of why you should stop using Docker.